In this episode, I'm going to share with you three important life lessons that I learned during my participation at the Desert 500 events. The first was during the very first event. I had registered for the 250 kilometer uh, race, and there I was in the midst of a whole lot of young and aggressive cyclists, all looking as if they were all set for a challenge. And I just felt like a fish out of water. I didn't believe I belonged there. And I also had this tremendous feeling that I am unlikely to complete the 250 kilometer ride all in one go in a competitive situation. And that's exactly what happened. I decided to abort the ride at 200 kilometers. A lot of my friends said that, look, at your age, uh, cycling 200 kilometers is a very good thing. But I felt quite a bad taste in my mouth that I had aborted the ride and not completed it. So the next year, I went with a great deal of determination to keep going come what may. And I did complete 250 kilometers, and I was so very happy. And the sheer feeling of happiness and a feeling of accomplishment and well-being stays with you for a very long time. So the first lesson, therefore, really was that when we participate in events of this nature and we push ourselves a little bit, then it is important not to compare ourselves with others. We just have to be ourselves. We have to be natural. We just have to be who we are. And remember that we participate for the love of cycling, for the love of accepting a challenge, and for the sheer desire to push ourselves and do something that we might feel good about. So just to be ourselves is the first lesson. The second and the third lessons were actually in the third event, and I was then 69 years old, and a lot of people told me, including my wife, that look, why don't you participate in the 150 kilometer ride and not the 250 kilometer ride? So I was in a quandary. Should I do 150 kilometers or should I push myself for 250? And in this kind of a dilemma that I was in, I found that I just did not have the will to prepare, to train, and prepare myself physically and mentally for the event. So finally, I took a call. I said, I will go for 250 kilometers. I just brushed aside the 150 kilometer thought, and it was 250 kilometers that I registered for. Then I did one more very good thing. I decided to create some value around this event through my participation and decided to dedicate it to a good cause, a good socially relevant cause. And the cause that I dedicated it to was for children from disadvantaged sections of society who had been affected by cancer. And it was a cause very close to my heart. So I tied up with the Indian Cancer Society and I went on a fundraising effort, met a lot of friends, met a lot of well-wishers, neighbors, anyone who I could reach out to, gathered modest sum of money. I gathered about 1,15,000, small and modest, but it still gave me a very good feeling and made me feel very happy that I had actually dedicated the cause to these poor children. And the event itself was the most difficult of the three events that I participated in. It was a little later in the year, and therefore it was extremely hot in the second half of the ride. And there were sections where there were very strong headwinds, and some portions of the ride there were elevations. So all put together, it was a pretty tough ride, much tougher than the other two. And it wasn't surprising that of all those who started, almost 30% of them had dropped out for one reason or the other, mostly for exhaustion or cramps and things like that. I completed it. And all through the ride, I was thinking of those children. I was thinking of the pain that they were going through and the pain that I was feeling. The exhaustion that I was feeling was nothing compared to what they were going through. And at the end of the ride, I was really feeling very good about myself. So, the three lessons in summary, therefore, are one, to be true to ourselves at all times in every endeavor that we take part in. The second was that it is our own personal decision what kind of risks we are going to take, what kind of a load we are going to put on ourselves, what kind of preparation we are going to do. It's all ours. We don't have to be influenced by people around us. And the third was to create as much value as we can through every endeavor of ours. So, friends, I hope you found some value in the discussions that we had today. I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts and ideas with you in the next episode. Until then, have a great day and may the force be with you.